What's going on? Welcome to Kings Speak. Super excited for this episode here. We are talking navigating life and finding yourself. This former NFL athlete is actually a friend of mine. He turned actor and producer. He has quite the perspective navigating life and finding yourself. And I want you to join the conversation, ask questions in the chat, share with a friend, do all the things because we are about to dive into an important conversation. So I want you guys to meet our king of the day, Jerrell Pippens in the house. Let me get him in here.
Hello.
Hey, you. How are you?
How you doing? I'm trying to adjust my lighting. Let's see if my lighting.
Man, you see, I don't have my King Speak logo in the title. It's like, I feel like every now and then, right before I go live, technology gets crazy. And I'm like, why?
I think we're out of retrograde, I think.
Man, oh yeah. But it's all good. People know why we're here, and our conversation is going to speak for itself. Mm-hmm. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm sure you can see the crown behind me. Symbolism.
I love it. Well, I haven't seen you in a while. I was talking to Malik, and I think the last time I seen you, I feel like the last time I saw you was the Lexus event.
It was a Lexus event. Yeah, it was. We were suited and booted.
Yeah, we were just slaying. That was so much fun. Well, we had such a great conversation. I actually didn't make a specific list of questions for you because you're well-versed on what we could just have a conversation like we always do.
Right.
Yeah, but I thought it was important to speak to you because you actually do have a really good perspective, especially when it comes to navigating life. You've done a lot of different things. You've been an athlete, you've been a writer, you've been an actor. Like, these are some of the toughest industries that anyone could weather. So let's start with upbringing when it comes to navigating life. How do you feel what you've learned from your parents when it comes to money and career and dating was able to shape you and equip you for right now?
Well, my mother is a very well-rounded person. Her nickname in high school, from what I heard, was Angela Davis. So I grew up very woke. Philadelphia is a very woke city, knowledge of self city, where we call it our old heads back home. Even if you were incarcerated, a lot of those guys coming out, they were the remnants of the Fruit of Islam movement with Malcolm X and things of that nature. So even our street guys back home are very articulate, well-rounded, very strong backbone, principles and values. Even our dope boys from back in the 80s and 90s have principles and values. Everybody's very proud, astute. Yes, Philly is rough, but it's that background. And my mother always, she says it to this day, you can be in the hood, but not of it. I'm from a single parent home. My mom raised me and my brother, not by herself, but with a lot of help. But a lot of our sports camps and things of that nature were not in the inner city. My first sports camp was in the Pocono Mountains. My mother gave me that exposure. I was there for 2 weeks, camping, hunting, fishing, playing sports. And that kind of changed my whole view of life, especially as a Black man. You come back down to the inner city and you're like, okay, this is all not correct. And then basketball camps, we had to go to the suburbs. My brother's camps were in the suburbs. My mom, I didn't know, like, why are we going all the way out here for camp? She was trying to teach us something. So that upbringing, I was always in a diverse surroundings, even though I was in the hood. And the principles of values, church on Sundays. My mom was a soccer mom. And we had like the Black History coloring books, Jet magazines on the coffee table. Ebony magazine, Essence. We watched The Wiz, saw The Wiz, the musical. But also my mom made us sit down and watch Of Mice and Men, To Kill a Mockingbird. She's a theater buff. So my brother did theater, even though we were immersed in sports. Me with football and track, him with football and baseball. But very well-rounded woman. Now the financial part, she just didn't have time, I think, to really dig into LLCs and budgeting and things of that nature because you're a woman doing everything. Soccer mom, 7 days a week. So we did learn how to budget, the coupon counting was real. So we me and my brother tend to be frugal because of that upbringing. But I'm not going to lie, you didn't get the debt to income ratio, the FICO score conversation, the LLC conversation. What I know now, the obstacles as far as estate planning. When you're 18, you get this. When you get married, you get this. We didn't, we didn't have that. And but everything else was wonderful. And to take up for my mother, you just don't have time, and you realize that you're doing things unnaturally. It should be a man and a woman, two people, two partners, two incomes. That way you can sit down, settle in, and be present. And with that being said, she did an awesome job and always taught to think things through. And we'll get to that in a minute when it comes to things. So her, my grandmother, my aunts, my grandparents had 3 girls. So I grew up in the Scared Straight program when it comes to you as women. I have female cousins.
Not scared straight, but your aunties probably wasn't playing at all.
No, they didn't play at all. My cousins, who are like my sisters, female cousins, they to this day, they cut it straight, no chaser. Let me tell you how we think. Okay, Jerrell, you're playing yourself. Nope, you're selling yourself short. Nope, your dignity. They keep it 100, alpha male 100. Not I don't mean to separate, but not beta male 100, alpha male 100, because we have some very alpha women in our family, in addition to proud men. So,
yeah, I'm not mad at it. First of all, shout out to your mom. She sounds like a Renaissance woman. She did everything that she could. And God bless her for knowing enough about the arts and putting you in different environments and things like that to assist in making you a well-rounded gentleman in the world. Some people that are raised in the hood, they don't really ever see anything past that until a certain age. And then by then you were already ingrained with a certain set of mentalities and values that may not serve you as well as you navigate different environments. So
exactly.
That's so amazing.
Right. And that led into, I did go to a public school, then transferred to a private school in high school. And I actually felt more comfortable in the private school, to be honest, because of the diversity.
Okay.
And then, going to a school like the University of Nebraska, go Big Red, it was a culture shock, but through time, I felt comfortable because of that Pocono Mountains, because of the suburban, you're in it, the hood, but not of it. So yeah, she kind of built my life up, and she's I guess Cleo the psychic.
Miss Cleo, call me now.
Yeah.
No, I love that. So you did mention the value of the benefit in having a man and a woman in the home. And sometimes people get that value and benefit when they're growing up. Sometimes it changes if your parents get divorced and all of these things. Before we go into that, let me hit the chat real quick. Sunny Rose said, yes, what up, Philly? So
What's
true.
Good?
Even every day, folks, we're about that deep knowledge back in the day in Philly.
Yes, we still do. We still have it. There we go.
I love it. Oh, my sisters in here. Tawny Trinity, Alpha Male 100. Wow, Jerrell, is that a new pre-workout supplement? Sign me up.
Alpha Male 1. I never said Alpha Male 1. I got to trademark that.
Yeah. My sister, she's so funny. She goes in. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love it. But yes, so the value of having the balance of a mother and a father. We see that your mother did very well. With what she had. But what do you think about, so when we're talking about navigating life, when you don't have that example in the home, how is it that you as a man and an individual are learning how to walk that path where you're qualifying a woman, looking for a wife, making the right decisions when it comes to dating so that you can create the foundation you desire for your children?
All right, I'm going to be honest with you. From age 1 to about age 30, I didn't know shit. So I'm just keeping 100. It was very trial and error. However, I would say this. PSA, you need a biological connection. PSA to all the women. You need, if the man is trying, hey, joint custody, do your thing. But I hate to throw my namesake under the bus, may my father rest in peace. But if a situation is toxic, then okay, the biological connection might have to wait. So my coaches stepped in. I had collective fathers. I'm old school. I'm raised by the community. As Meek Mill said, I'm a hood baby. I'm a neighborhood baby. Different fathers and mentors on the block, whether they be kind of checkered past or kind of just the old heads on the block, older black males. I had about 10 to 15 fathers that filled the void. Now, principles, values, integrity, hard work, the physical fitness from my grandfather. My grandfather played a big role, but everyone's ripping and running. You're not their biological child. So what was left out was you guys, till I became older and got into some trouble. And we'll get into that in a second, on how to court and what to look for in a woman and a wife. Now, I will say this, since I had so many aunts, grandparents, and my grandfather and uncles, their knowledge of self or whatever, I kind of got the gist on what I want a wife to sound like to me, as far as my love language, what I'm used to hearing from my grandmother. I have I guess what they call it, an Oedipus complex. My mother, my aunts, my grandmother, my grandparents who are divorced, but still very much in my life, a lot. And then how I saw my coaches conduct themselves with their wives and how I saw their wives conduct themselves with their husbands. I knew without anyone telling me what to hear and what to say, whoa, this is not going to work. So it came through trial and error. Wasn't really schooled on women's emotions. I will say that I got into a huge fight in high school. I guess a woman wanted us to be exclusive, and I wasn't the best. I'm just learning this, to sit down and say, hey, this is not going to work because I have this on my plate. You have this on your plate. It didn't come off that academic.
Right.
It probably came off like this for people that know me. Like, I ain't in on all that. You know what I mean? I'm brushing my hair. I got scholarships. I got SATs, and I ain't going. Ain't going down. Whatever. Like, I don't know how to talk. I don't know how to be emotionally available. I don't know what. This is woman's emotions. Her feelings are hurt. I don't know. I'm just like, yeah, it's Friday. I got track meets, football camps, and whatever. So I ain't going. Yeah, all right, you good? You good? And it came down on me. She got a little upset emotionally, and a fight ensued over someone else, and I was protected. Did I have some favor because I was an athlete? Yes, but through trial and error, police got involved and things of that nature. Through the information, she was removed from the school, and I was kept. And we'll get to that in a minute. As far as inferior man being a target. Infatuation with the black male body, athletic body, especially, because she was black, but still. So that I learned those lessons in one incident. Whereas though other people with probably present fathers in the household, you get those lessons 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You get those little, your father taking you out, teaching you while you're playing basketball and fishing and testing you. Didn't have those tests.
Right.
My test came in the form of a street fight that got really hectic. And fortunately, nothing fatal happened, but a lot of our young brothers, young kings, they find out after a fatality or jail time or probation. And you know what that system does to you. I mean, Meek Mill is one of the best examples. That gets you when you're 16, 17, all of a sudden you're in your 30s. Like, what the hell am I still doing here? So I thank God I didn't get caught up in that. But unfortunately, you don't have that intimate, deep, intimate, let me look you in your eye to teach you about the ways of these women and these other men out here. You don't get that. In addition to, for a lot of us, and this plays into the economy, our people in the inner cities, we're so busy ripping and running and working overtime and double overtime and da. I know some great fathers whose kids still kind of fell by the wayside. And you're like, yo, what did I do? And you're not as available as the stockbroker who can come home because his money is working for him. So he's at all the baseball practices, basketball practices, or what have you. So I was blessed, fortunate. The private school handled it very, very well, more of a smaller, intimate environment. And to answer your question, a lot of trial and error, even though the men in my life did a great job. They really did. But that intimate, let me look in your eye and teach you this stuff. daily that I did miss out on. And going to college, I would say, and into adulthood, into my young adulthood, it's not all my fault because the father wasn't there, but it's not all my fault because I make this point. Our parents who left or were locked up or absentee didn't just have sons. They had daughters too. Mm-hmm. Think about that. So if the men are out here lost, where did that leave some of these females? Exactly. So I'm gonna get on y'all in a minute.
Yeah, we can talk about it. I know, I get it. I want your perspective on it because, you know, you talked a little bit, and Sunny Rose in the chat said the female black body and the male black body are both fetishized. Right. And it is a big deal. I mean, you being, let's just be all the way 100. You being tall, black,
for people, I'm 6'3".
Yeah.
When I played, I was at about 207, 205. Been 6'3" a long time. Went through a growth spurt at 16. I was a very shy, quiet kid. Always athletic, but very quiet. Mm-hmm. And when I sprouted up, I went through a crazy growth spurt. I hurt my shoulder very bad. Season ending. Had to stay. My grandmother had to be my caretaker. I mean, it was bad. So I had to reconstruct my body. Mm-hmm. And it was a blessing though, because now all of a sudden, I mean, wasn't really into weightlifting. All of a sudden I had to lift weights. I had to work out. I had to work. I mean, people tell you when you hurt your knee, you hurt anything on your body, your core has to be built. So I'm like mutating. I'm on a workout regimen, and at the same time went through a growth spurt. And I started to notice. You come out the weight room, you at the track meets, because let me just say, it's culture. I'm a track kid. I'm a football kid. I'm a track and field kid. I've been doing this since forever. I'm a basketball kid. I'm a youth athlete since I was 8. It's culture. It's 100 degrees outside. You take your shirt off. You walk around the track meet with your medals on. It's culture. We're not thinking anything of it. And I started to notice, though, it was culture and was cute at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, then 15, 16. Now even some of these women, grown women, like, okay,
grown women
are like, whoa, hey, and the trouble I got into, I hate to throw under the bus because I wish this woman the best. I hope she has a husband, kids, and everything. But they're at the track meet, they're at your locker, they're at the bus stop, because they see you working out, they see you rehabbing, they see you. Track practice is very involved. Football, you have your equipment on. Track, you just pretty much have nothing on but your tights. And our women get looked at in track and field. You know, a man watches the track meet. Woo! These women watch track, and they also, I would say, let's say Dwayne Johnson pops up, and my aunts and them, I got one eye. Oh my God, Dwayne! Yeah, exactly. That's TV film, okay. But in living color, especially I've noticed I'm very dark. The black, I mean, it's that look of, okay, she's attracted to me, but it's that other look like she's looking at me like I have horns behind me, or like I have, they're curious, they're interested, especially from other hues, but I noticed growing up. So it's kind of like you're looked at as almost subhuman, Amazonian. I have very long arms. And I'll get to that in a minute with when I read the slave narratives or the slave descriptions of the Dutch in the West Indies and in America. I'll get to that comparison in a minute. But I have very long arms. I'm fast. I'm strong. I'm agile. You get called like a freak by coaches because you're so big and you're so fast, and it's cool in an athletic standpoint, but you see that stretches into your personal life. So I saw very early after my rehab, I built my body up. All of a sudden my abs are coming in, a little bit of muscles, and I take my shirt out there event. I got my medals on, and you're tying your shoe. You're like, yo, what the hell is these women looking at? But you're still a man, hey, how you doing? What's your name? Whatever. Mm-hmm. But it seems as though, like you said, they look at you as subhuman. Even to the point where that fight I got into, all I told her in so many words was no. Hey, I don't want to be exclusive. Didn't use the word exclusive. Like I said, I wasn't that educated, but I said, no. Oh, no, you don't. You're going to give me that. What? And I kind of felt like through trial and error what some of these women feel like when they may say, look, I don't want to be in a relationship with you, or I'm good, or I'm just focused on my schooling, or okay, we had sex, okay, but that didn't mean what you mean? What? All of a sudden you pop up, this person might pop up where you're at because of that fetish over the body. You go through that, but men go through that too.
Yeah.
Especially the black male athlete. You know, a young man from Baylor was falsely accused of rape maybe a year ago. He just got out. I think it happened again at Washington State. And one person brought up, she was the cousin of somebody I played with. So I guess she's experienced it through her cousin. And she said, let's talk about the fetish of some of the black male athletes on these campuses at these high schools and the pros. And I talked to you the other day, and, you know, I'm a minor in African-American studies. I got my education, majored in communication, minor in African-American studies, graduated with honors after playing 2 sports. So, you know, black men do study. We do read. We are about our business. We're about our books, even while being jocks. And I'm reading, while I'm in African-American studies, I'm reading the slave description because, you know, the Dutch heavily enslaved us as well as other nationalities. And, you know, they tried to get Native Americans. They tried with the Irish. They tried. And what they saw was that the West African male body and female body was best under the sun. And from that region, a lot of us were hunters. So we could move and gather and endure. And their description was so eerie. Get them at 14, 15, 16, women too. The darker the male, the better. Because he can block out the sun. In addition to, if he runs away, he'll stick out because he's so dark and melanated. And it didn't say agile, but it said would be a great worker, strong back, strong arms, long arms, what have you. Now, fast forward to being recruited as an athlete, and you kind of read your NFL pre-draft description, and you're like, whoa, hold up. This is kind of a...
Looks familiar.
Yeah. And because I had that knowledge in college and growing up from my uncles and them, and my OGs, and then going to the league. I remember I weighed in at my pro day. I ran my 40 for people that I was 207. I ran a 4.40, had a 39.5-inch vertical. For people that know about that, was like I blew it away. And I weighed in and I thought about the narrative. I'm saying this, I'm in defense of the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball. Hey, I'm from the block. The NFL allowed me to dream. It allowed me to reach for something. And it was my spaceship, as I told you, towards a better life to an extent. Maybe not financially, because I was on practice squad most of the time, y'all. There were people with master's degrees. Some of my friends were making more than me on practice squad. But the experience, the life, the brotherhood, shout out to the NFL for that. And I know it's with Kaepernick and, you know, $1 Million Slave. I get it. But I kind of needed that experience. However, on the flip side of that, weighing in and I'm like, hold on, what? Man, you put on some pounds, man. Good weight. Oh man, and you were moving. Look at the thighs. I'm like, oh, this is kind of eerie. And again, it's like I went back to high school, you know, being fetished over. And God, you're so big, you're so strong, you're so long, you're so lean, you're so what have you. And it's kind of a thing that transitions into the real world, because I think people, and I'm gonna get on y'all in a minute. Shout out to my queens. I love y'all. But, you know, there's the fetish and the he's not human mentality that I call it the dumb blonde look. You know, the dumb blonde or the Victoria's Secret model speaks and has a business acumen. People get shocked because you look like that. You're not supposed to think. And we as athletes and as black males with some type of physicality or physique, whatever you want to call it, get that as well.
Gosh, that's insane. I have a couple of questions, but I'm gonna go to the chat real quick. Sunny Rose said, So should the community protect young boys' psyche and sexuality? Should we red flag predatory behavior that make Black men commodities?
Yes. I think for me, I'm starting a nonprofit, and that will be a part of the conversation, especially my future guys that you see, like, this kid's going to be an All-American. They're going to be pushed to the front. They're going to be 5-star or what have you. I think we do need to do a better job of pulling them to the side. Like I said, the intimate eyeball to eyeball. I have a mentee that plays for the Tennessee Titans right now, and those are the conversations. Now, he's a bigger guy, you know, he's one of the big boys, but his athleticism is off the charts, and he saw after the draft, here it comes. Because even though he's a big guy, it was like his muscles, this, he's that, and he saw like women that wouldn't talk to him are all of a sudden, hey, what you know. So I think, yes, we do need to do, to answer his question, a better job from the Pop Warner level, AAU level, Little League Baseball level, even lacrosse, soccer, wrestling, or what have you, because even though some of these sports don't have pro sports per se, they still have NCAA college opportunities. And that's where it starts. Well, it starts in high school. Well, I'm going to be real with you. It starts in 5th, 6th grade, to be brutally honest. And then it just gets piles on. So yes, intimate conversations that coaches should have with their players. By the grace of God, the father is there, intimate conversations, the mother, to talk to them about, shall I say, sexuality, about being fetished over. Women have a master's degree in that. Women can do a great job at talking to us about that, because from the time you guys are young and you start growing, you know, your body parts, you get that. So yes, our women and our men need to do a better job of sitting our young kings down at an early age and talking to them about these fetishes. No means no.
And that's okay.
Right. Yes. Mixed signal.
And how to, how to deal with that when somebody's not trying to hear it.
Right. Not trying to hear it from the man's point of view and from the woman. So you won't get caught up in no, as Deion Sanders said, no bull jive, you know. And I would say this, though, too, in defense of a lot of men, a lot of us, it's better now because of the internet, and a lot more of us are reaching back. You see LeBron, and a lot more of us are coming back into the community saying, what's up, bro? I'm here. You know, me growing up, you didn't see as much of that. You know, the big time guys didn't come back and train with you. I was the first generation of the adult 21, 22-year-old athlete warms up with the 8-year-old athlete or the 10-year-old. So you warm up together, and that's how these athletes are so advanced. They're learning from you, and you get an intimate conversation. Hey, man, this is what it's watching. But I was the generation that we didn't have that. Mm-hmm. Deion ain't there. Deion Sanders ain't there. Michael Jordan ain't there. They're not talking. We don't have these platforms to where they talk. All we knew is they have trophies. They're awesome. That's it. So, yes, we do need to do a better job of talking to our young men and young women about this. And yes, our young women, but I think it's something that's looked over with young men, of the sensationalizing of their bodies, that to answer his question, yes, coaches, parent, community, intimate conversations about this. So, yes.
I agree 1,000,000% too, because in addition to that, those that look like an athlete, you know, I have a lot of good looking guy friends, of course, you being one of them, other women, of course, and some other men that I've talked to, and I'll even see online, but another thing that a lot of men are going through that we're not addressing is, you know, like the sexual molestations and things that happen. Like I have, you know, it hypersexualizes men when early on you have these babysitters, cousins, neighbors, or whoever who are sexualizing boy, even if they're like, oh, he's going to be fine when he grows up, or you're going to be a little heartbreaker. And these kids are like 5, 6. Like, why are we in a mind space where we're sexualizing kids and looking at them like, oh, when they grow up, okay, but this isn't 20 years from now. This is now. He's 7. Right. Let's not, you know, because then it hypersexualizes boys, and then they have an issue with dealing with that when they get into their preteen years. So definitely the boys need to be wildly protected.
Yeah, wildly. In addition to our queens, yes, because you guys are the most unprotected on earth. We know that, but yes, we the conversation is always with the females about the female, which it should be to an extent. But yes, we do need to switch the narrative also to, I just talked to your sister, now I'm going to talk to you, young man. I just talked to you, now I'm going to talk to you, young man. And we don't always get that conversation. Like I said, trial and error. And I've been blessed, fortunate. And we used to always say in college, hey, bro, ask them a yes or no question. If it's no, take your behind a cold shower, go to sleep. It ain't that serious. I don't know. We just had this discipline amongst each other without the big tutelage, because I think we started to see, my generation, we started to see the athletes getting in trouble on ESPN. The allegations started to come out because the social media was just starting and things were more visible. And I would have to say the coaches did a great job of bringing police officers in to say, hey, these are the consequences, the repercussions, young man, of this, that, and the third. So I would say I was the first generation of coaches. They were trying to be more proactive, but now you got to do a deep dive, yes, with our younger men. And I think to defend our women, I'm going to defend our sisters. I never really had a self-esteem issue with my color, or I have a gap. And people always, some other people, it has to be insecure about my gap. I've never, what? And then I had a lot, men do say that. And I had a lot of colors in my family, light skin, dark skin, tan skin, whatever. So colorism was never a thing to me, because my aunts used to say, look at that $1 million smile. Look at that young king. Look at him. They didn't quite say, oh, he's going to be a heartbreaker. Like, oh, he's so handsome.
Yeah.
Boy, you better, just keep God first. Keep your head on the swivel. It was empowering word. And I think we have to say, okay, don't say he's going to have 30 women and be a pimp and all like that. But it's important to give our young men's empowerment, because we talked about that before. There are a lot of black males out here as adults, fresh haircut, Jordans, muscles. Self-esteem is lower than the abyss. And I've seen that, experienced it, mentor it. But even men my age and around that age, the self-esteem, oh man, I guess, 18% of black men, they say, they vote for Trump. They're saying that black males become the new swing voter. And that's a part of not having hope, not believing in yourself, not hearing Black King magic a lot, not hearing, hey, King, smile. That's one of the reasons why I'm very sensitive towards when you compromise my dignity and you talk down to me. You can say whatever you want, but that's not how I grew. That's not the narrative that was spoken to me growing up. I was called a king, a prince, $1 million smile. You go get them. Handsome. You can do it. You're so smart. It was punched into me. Right. So if you talk down to me, no matter what your hue is, you can be one of us, black, white. I'm gonna scratch my nose like this, and we're gonna have a conversation. That's just, but so that comes from the empowerment coming out. Yeah. Right. That comes from the empowerment of our sisters. But we do have to have a line to where empower him, but don't overly sexualize him with these comments.
Correct. And actually, we have some good in the chat. What's up, Asia Mass? Salute to the chat, queens and kings. What's going on? Thank you for tuning in. Sunny Rose, she says, I think the problem is also that young men are pressured to behave sexually amongst each other in society. How can we make it more manly for a man to say no?
Part of the social aspect of us growing up, especially athletes. Hey, man, did you hit? Right. Did you knock her down? Right. You might say, man, this girl was great. She was awesome. She was this, she was that, or she wasn't awesome. Oh man, whether she was awesome, whether she was positive or negative, the silver lining for a lot of men, did you F-U-C-K? And I do believe we have to change that narrative. You're correct. Because you're seeing, as we talked about before, a lot of males, I'm not going to say all black males because other hues do it too, but you see a executive or an athlete or whatever with an 18 and a 17-year-old son and daughter. Then you see him with a 1-year-old with the younger one are they got kids all over the place or whatever the case may be, because everything is, did you hit? And it's like, I'm alive, I'm healthy, I'm well, I got a 4.0 GPA. Did you hit? Man, we had a great time. Did you hit? So it gets told to you over and over again, did you hit? That it's like, I guess that drops into your impulse, your emotions. Maybe you don't have protection. Maybe this girl is a headache, or the guy is a headache, or whatever. And the number one thing in your mind, I have to prove my manhood by hitting. Because all my friends are going to ask, no matter what the situation, if she's toxic, if she's dumber than a doorknob, if she's smarter than Michelle Obama, she went to Yale, Harvard, or whether she got out of jail. The number one question is, did you hit? And we need to stop that. We need to say, what does she have a father in her life? What's her upbringing? How's her head? I think so. I'm saying that to myself when I'm talking to young men, and I still get that at my age. Yo, did you hit? I'm like, damn, dude, you're an adult still. It's about, I guess, the trophy room. And these men that do that, they react very impulsively to relationships, and they end up getting into a marriage or procreating with someone that they ain't even with long term. Because since I was 12, 13, everyone keeps saying, did you hit? So to answer his question, yes, we all need to change up the narrative. Is she a good person? She all right? She treats you good? Does she show rest? I didn't look up the definition of reciprocity until Lauryn Hill said it on her album, legendary album.
So good.
And I looked up reciprocity. I was like, whoa, damn, Lauryn is not just talking to the women, she's talking to the men. Damn, reciprocity. Oh, have I been given reciprocity? Am I giving that word right there? So these code words, respect, reciprocity, reciprocation, mental health, need to be talked about more. In addition to, I'm gonna get on y'all in a minute. I've read somewhere where mental health, don't take this the wrong way. Happy wife, happy life. It's not a false narrative, but it's not a narrative that only needs to be used. You have men pulling, not even recognizing themselves to make this person happy, and you're not getting any reciprocation. Nothing's coming back. And when you do that and nothing comes back, even the strongest woman, if you put out all your love and nothing comes back, imagine your son or daughter not hugging you back.
Right.
It'll mess with your head. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm providing. What? And that happy wife, happy life thing. So a lot of us as men in our households have to change the vocabulary and the narrative of how we speak and talk and the words that we use. Because, like you, I'm seeing a lot of brothers just impulsively, even though they're 30s, 40s, 20s, in their head is, did you hit? Did you hit? Did you hit? Right. Here comes child support, alimony. You know the narrative.
I do. I know the narrative. And Sunny Rose brought up exactly how terrorizing is that? The idea that you have to perform sexually, no matter what, it's abusive. It removes a man's humanity, and it removes a man's ability to relate to women humanly. And I have to agree, because we both dehumanize each other. So it's happy wife, happy life. It is like, well, we are looking at you like an object of fulfillment. Like, what are you going to do for me? How are you going to take care of me? And although that's important on certain levels, we cannot separate the fact that you're human and you have needs too. But this narrative, did you hit? Don't show your emotions. F that B and moving on from what. I will speak for myself, and I know it's not just me, but there was a long time where I didn't even understand that men had emotions at all.
Right.
So it's just kind of like, we are thinking, y'all just want us for sex and we need you to pay the bills.
I'm gonna speak on that when it comes to the fetish and everything. Now I'm gonna get on y'all.
Get on us.
But not without getting on. Hold on. This is I have 1, 2, 3. I've been exposed to 3 therapists. Once coming out of football, went through mild depression because That was my identity. Muscles. You're the football guy. You're the track guy. You're big, fast, strong. Woohoo. Then it's over. We're the muscles.
Right.
Call me muscles. And it's on to the next one. So
I'm sure your identity was tied up in
yes,
that. Your value identity was tied up in that.
Valued. I had to dig deeper into my relationship with God. Of course, therapy. My knowledge of self helped me. Knowing who I am, whose I am, the DNA that I come from. But it took a lot of trial and error. So I'm going to say this. Wasn't all my fault. Because I'm going to say I learned about being objectified when I was 18 through that. I was getting fetished over. I didn't know what that was. I was just walking, going to track practice. But from that age, I did slow it down. And I'm not going to lie. I got back out there in college after you start getting playing time. And I went to the University of Nebraska, major Division I powerhouse. I know we're down right now, but I'm talking at my time, powerhouse. So I'm on ESPN, ABC, NBC. I'm on every major network every single weekend. Sold out capacity crowds from anywhere from as small as 50,000 to 115,000. That's just a Saturday to me. It's nothing. The minute you make a play on TV, I mean, I've had times where I got off the field and my voicemail is full. It was cleared out before the game. 3 hours later, it's on full. I can't receive any more messages. This is how big you're getting. I can only imagine what it's like to be Michael Jackson, LeBron James. And oh my God. I mean, shout out to those King, may rest in peace, MJ, but shout out to the LeBrons. I mean, even the Michael Jordans, the late, great Kobe. Man, for these guys to balance all that, man, I was just a walk-on in college and an undrafted free agent. But from that being objectified in college, then in the pros, I've noticed after therapy for the first time, other than my mother and them, my mom and them, women didn't really ask about me. They talked at me. Women didn't talk to me.
After you left the pros, or after you left?
No.
Or, I mean,
while I was high school, college, and pro, women talked at me. They didn't talk to me. I never had anyone other than my therapist when I was in my late 20s. Who are you? Where do you see yourself? How are you wired? How did your mom teach you? What was your upbringing? What's your relationship like with your father? And I've noticed that my therapist told me it's not healthy for people not to ask those questions if they're trying to procreate with you or be with you long term. And I've said, no one's ever asked me this stuff. I got potty mouth.
It's okay.
They kind of just want to, like you said, the fetish, 6'3", you play ball, you got a degree. They don't know anything about being an undrafted free agent or being on practice squad. Because I came up, I was with the Mike Vick generation. That's my draft classes, and the late great Sean Taylor, for people who know about football, and Phillip Rivers, and the back end of Allen Iverson's career when he was getting out of the NBA. I was coming in, so that was when the cornrows, the swag was really accepted and sought after. They wanted the hip hop culture. They wanted the black guy from the inner city, from humble beginnings, who they were so, oh my God, you're like the mold of Vic and Iverson and this new pop culture of sports.
Wow.
No, the women were not asking about me. Guilty as charged. I wasn't asking about them. We were two people who weren't even present. We were present sexually, but we weren't having these conversations. So here I am, possibly could have procreated, maybe I almost got into I was almost engaged when I was playing football. I don't even know this person.
Yeah. That's nuts. It's so true.
To be honest, they say a percentage, I don't know the percentages, but half of pro athletes that retire go through a divorce 2 years after retirement.
Yeah.
Because you don't even know this person.
Yeah.
And no one's asking you about you. I want to hurry up and get to these muscles, to this money.
It's like ownership.
To owners, to this NFL, to this new pop culture, dangerous athlete from the inner city. No one's asking about me. And for the first time, I really did not communicate thoroughly with a female on a date, to be honest with you, till I got into my 30s, to be brutally honest, because I was never challenged to, I was never asked to. I don't think anyone even gave a fuck, and I didn't give a F, probably, in hindsight. I'm guilty too, because I was so rock star with it, like,
right,
you know. And also, you know, one time we had I'm not going to say too much. I'm save this for the book. But we were partying. I used to train down south when I played. Shout out, I was training in Houston. I used to train in Sugarland.
Okay.
Mo City. Shout out to H-Town. And I asked the girl, yo, why do y'all just do what we tell you to do? And these are not like groupies per se. These are like educated women. You know, in Houston, women about their business. Nurses in Houston make more than a lot of people. Master's degrees, doctor. You know, H-Town ain't playing. And I said, why? Whatever. And she did say something that made me, she was like, well, Jerrell, you guys are you're physically fit. You're doing what you want to do when you want to do it. You're doing what you love. You seem you're making your own rules. The community looks up to you. She says, Jerrell, we just don't see a whole lot of Black men like this. And if you think about it, I guess whatever the community, and it's subjective. In our communities, we don't see people doing what they want to do when they want to do it as much as you guys, you know. And she said the doctors and the lawyers don't really come back. Like I said, these people don't come back around. The Black architects, where they at? They're not doing football camps. They're not in the schools talking to the kids. They're not, you know, having parties and things of that nature, making themselves known in the community, saying, if I can do it, you can do it. You guys are doing that. He was looking at it in a positive way. I was like, dang, saying this is why you're attractive. That was the only person that really, okay, let me know this is what I think about you. This is your humanity. You
yeah, because it is masculine. It shows leadership, and that is what us women are looking for, someone who can lead. I mean, as you guys are raised with narratives, so are we. And so we're looking for a leader. And even if we don't all the way know what that is, it does resemble, even in the uneducated mind, somebody who's doing all the things that she just said. You're out there, you're doing this, you're coming back, you're speaking, you're talking to the community, you know, or whatever the case. So I could definitely, you know, see that. In the chat, my girl Tani said, hey, Jerrell, it's Miss Belafonte. How do you navigate the waters of love now in your life, being older and wanting to find authentic love? What do you look for in the woman you're looking to be with?
Ooh, that's a loaded question, my queen. Belafonte, what's up? My fellow actress. I know what that is.
Yeah.
Loaded. I would say this. I had a breakup a few years ago. I had to do soul searching. Had to go to the mountain and namaste.
I remember that.
Yeah, I was that was men had feelings too, ladies.
Newsflash.
Newsflash, yes. So I had to reevaluate and reinvent again. And I actually walked away from the game for a minute. Even though I didn't say it, I was like, forget this. And when God got something for you, he got it for you. I was called back. I booked something. I wasn't even in town, and I booked it, one of my best. Because also, I act, I produce, and I also have a background in print modeling, fitness modeling. So I got a call, booked something, a campaign. I was like, wow. So I did learn to trust in God more and to navigate. I said, and to be honest, me and Jaimi talked about this. Acting is, you got to get Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, the Idris Elbas, the Will Smith. It's tough on the male ego because we pride ourselves on, like you said, being leaders, being needed, being wanted. And in acting and producing and everything else, you have to deal with a lot of rejection. In addition to that, you have to do survivor jobs. I have my own training business. I train athletes, but it's not as sexy as it sounds. I love my athletes, but it's not like, you know, it's 7 figures or a Black Panther residual check. So a part of that is the ego again with, like you said, you guys want the protector, the provider, the leader. When you're in the acting game, when you're mastering the craft, hearing no, rejection, and still making a living, it doesn't allow you to be that head, I guess, of the household as much as you want to initially until you get that break. So to answer a question is humbling. And how can I say this? I'm letting the work and the energy I'm putting out bring me what's supposed to be in my life. I'm as men do, we hunt, we gather, oh man, what's going on? And I took a page out of women's books. You go out, and if you're out with your girls, I know you've done this, James. I've seen you out with your girls, and guys approach you. Hey, what's going on? You say, no, I'm here with my girls. You're not hunting. You're getting your shit together. Let me take care of my skin, and I've learned self-care. I just went through therapy again earlier this year before COVID broke. I'm letting my energy and what I'm putting out bring me what's supposed to be in my life, instead of aggressively going out there, wearing myself out, doing the happy wife, happy life thing. And with that, it's allowing me to be more patient. And I'm not at liberty to discuss what I have going on as far as my projects, as far as producing, but I've had the best, because I let go of hunting, I've had the best manager, the best agents. I have a lawyer now. I have a whole team. I just completed a short film, a fourth short film I produced and co-wrote. Now I'm learning how to package and sell things to networks. I did the UCLA TV and film program because I immersed myself in myself. And I feel as though, as far as navigating, I'm not navigating to answer her question. I'm working on me. And I think the energy that I'm putting out will bring me to whoever's supposed to be in my life. And a lot of us as men, it's just human nature. I play free safety. People don't know about football. Free safety, you sit in the back. Let's pretend like, okay, Jaimi, if you're in Houston now, so you got to know about football, Jaimi, because the men you're going to date love football, Jaimi, in Houston.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
I know how to play the video game in football, and I know what I'm seeing when I watch it, so I'm all right.
I'm gonna give you dating advice in Houston. You got to know about football, but
thank you.
Safety sit in the back, and it's like they're looking through bushes, and the first thing that pops up, they go get it. I'm constantly sitting in the back, and I'm going to get it. I'm constantly sitting in the back, and I'm going to get it. I was a hurdler growing up. 400 hurdles, 1-ton hurdles. From the time you're 9, you hear attack, 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 attack. You have to attack there. That's why people hit the hurdles a lot, because you're trained to hit it. Bang. My whole psyche, my whole DNA is hunt and attack. Hunt and attack. Not that I'm an animal or anything. It's just that's the way my brain works. I've been a captain since I was 8 years old on every team I've been on. I'm so proud to say, from college to pro. The Chargers named me a rookie team captain. I don't even know what the rookie team. I'm like, what? They saw me as a leader. I wasn't even, I'm just trying to make the team. I'm innately an alpha male leader. But when you have to fall back and chill out, it almost goes against your nature as a man to defend men. Because I know it's like, damn, all y'all think about it. This, man, why y'all got all y'all? It's just in us to hunt and go after it. And, and I'm competitive. A nice woman walks through. I'm like, yo, I got to get that number. I'm me. I'm Jerrell. I'm the safety. I'm the captain. I can get it. That's just my competitive.
Your wiring. Yeah.
My wiring. So to defend men and to answer her question as well, it's tough. You have to almost go against nature, because you guys are the receivers. I mean, I know you guys are getting it. I'm not against you guys getting money.
No, we're the receivers.
Right. But Black Girl Magic, my mom was a single parent woman who worked in corporate America. I'm raised by it. Black Girl Magic. You're looking at the result of Black Girl Magic. But
that's right.
You guys are the receivers, because my mom, I wish, someone else was there so she can just chill. She's chilling now. I'm seeing the little girl in my mom now. So I see how unnatural it is. But the man, this is what we are. So now, to answer a question, men, you get to a chapter in your life, if you're single, I don't have kids, but if you have kids and it didn't work out and you're back out here, you almost have to suppress it and draw back a little bit and put it on cruise control, because you're going to end up doing yourself and other people a lot of damage if you keep going bang, 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 bang. So I'm very much still a safety. I'm still a hurdler but I chose to transfer the energy into acting and producing, and things are coming up in auditions and I'm seeing it. And my manager's like, oh my God, something happened in this quarantine with my auditions. I'm hitting my beats, what's called in acting. I'm hitting my commas, my notes. It's like X-ray vision is coming, because COVID left me no choice but to sit your ass down. Stop hunting. Stop. And I think more men we're naturally hunters, but we got to learn to suppress it so we can navigate to answer her question and put that energy into your goals, dreams, aspirations, and mentorship. And naturally, it'll just come to you. So to answer a question, I'm chilling out.
So I'm going to go to the chat, and then I have a question for you about that because, yeah, let me go to the chat real quick. So we have Sherry in the building. Hi, Sherry. She said yes to free safety. She's a hashtag football fanatic. So we got some football girls in here. My girls is on game. She got me. Asia Math, self-defining over society-defining, which is major. That's self-defining over society-defining. My God.
I got to tweet that. That's a
seriously, that's a good one, Asia Math. And yes, Sherry said, so unnatural, speak a word. So my thing is if you are a man, you're the hunter-gatherer, we're the women, we're the receivers, and you're laid back in the cut waiting for things to come to you. When you see it come to you, you gonna move or you gonna wait? Or what is your expectation when and if you see something in front of you? Then you gonna get out that little safety seat or whatever the football term is.
You better learn this,
Jamie. You gonna get up and do something or what?
You in Houston, James. You got to learn this.
Help me out, please.
Bam, that's $1 million question, literally. I think TD Jake said it. Somebody said it. I know it when I see it, and I know it when I feel it. To pull the trigger or not, all I can say is I gotta know it when I feel it, and I have to do a better job of when I feel it and I feel that impulse. I have to do a better job of when I get that communication, get that number, and I had that sit down. I had to do a better job of being vulnerable and speaking about my expectations and my insecurities at that point. Because I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna speak this to existence. I know things are about to really pick up for me. It's like a new thing about to happen. But because a new thing happens, and I'll be on a network show, and I got 5 projects going on, getting my Mark Wahlberg executive / actor on. You could still be very insecure. And I would have to say that, I'm gonna tell all my queens out there, my kings, my insecurity is gonna come in trusting. Because as you see me through the years, Jaimi, Brother Fonte is on that grind. I think along with the point of self-definition versus society definition, it takes a lot of hard work to break through. I don't care if you're a pastor, athlete, construction worker, real estate host. I don't care if you work at Sprint. I'm seriously, I'm not being facetious. To be the manager at Sprint, you got to bust your behind. I
remember Sprint. I didn't work there, but I knew a lot of people that did. That wasn't a game.
Right. It's not a game. You got to know everything about that phone, and the line is to the, and you better not. You better
and the contracts.
Right. So, and you break through. Woo! Now here comes the real mental health, in that to pull the trigger and not to. What is this person here for? But I had to do a better job of communicating my insecurity to say, hey, this is my second time reinventing myself. I'm performing at an elite level, and now another genre. How many people do that? And I don't want to fuck up. And in this dog-eat-dog, instant world, lack of reciprocity world, me world, I'm a little insecure right now. Not an insecure person. I'm just insecure about a lot of humans. Hey, can you work with me on this as we court date, or this is my situation right now? Yeah, I'm on a show or whatever, but I have overhead. I got agents, I got taxes, I got, my family, because there's another thing with Black men and women. We get sometimes it's called a black tax, as financial advisors call it, which means that a lot of us haven't been 4 or 5 generations into equity and real estate. So when we get on, mom, little something.
Everybody need help.
Yeah, but it's not, my family is very self-sufficient, but I got to do this for my people, or I got it. So baby, it's not sweet. Even if I'm making millions of dollars, it ain't sweet. Do you know how many write-offs you got to keep track of? And I have an accountant now. I'm going to get another accountant in addition to one accountant right now as we speak. And I'm like becoming, as we speak, Jaimi, I have a lawyer, three people management group, my agency is one agent that reps me, but it's 4 people that email me. When I get an audition, there are 5 people attached to the email. We're not even including now my accountant. And now when I cross over, I had to get an accountant out here, but I'm gonna have my original accountant to overlook what that accountant is doing. Then I'm gonna have a nonprofit, a guy over that, and my mom and everyone helping with that. And then probably have a trainer. Then you got to get a publicist when you get to that level. Then maybe every once in a while a stylist. Do you hear me, Jaimi?
That's a whole squad.
Man, it's a whole squad. So there are still insecurities. And to answer a question, I had to do a better job when I feel it. After maybe the first or second date, I had to say, hey, this is what it is. Yeah. Can you handle it? Because I'm still a little scared and fuzzy, because whether I'm down, whether I'm up, it's a challenge. And everybody in this world wants an instant whatever. So to answer a question, I know it when I feel it. When I see it, I couldn't tell you right now. Couldn't tell you. I can go pump gas right now and be like, oh my God. Oh my God. Jaimi, give me some advice. Oh my God.
I'll be like, let me bring her over here. Hold on.
Yeah, no. But who knows? Or it might come or whatever. But I just know when I feel it. But I had to do a better job of communicating and not doing the did you fuck? Did you fuck? Did you fuck? Did you hit? Did you hit? Did you hit? Damn, she's bad. Oh, look at her filter. Ooh, she popping.
Oh Lord, I'm so tired of that.
Right. Is she popping?
I'm not even an unattractive woman, and I'm so tired of the bad woman. She bad. Instagram booties, makeup. I'm like, y'all have got to stop.
Yeah,
it's so annoying. It's
overload.
So annoying. Because then it be the same dudes that come back to me, the homegirl, months or whatever later, and it's like, it's like, dude, well, what did you expect? You didn't ask no questions. All you saw was her booty, and you done left the party.
I did that from age 16.
Lord, I'm over it.
But I started talking after therapy. I have a question for you guys, and for people chiming in for the women.
We got a lot here.
Right, and I had to ask the women for my sake, because I have.
Let's help them out.
Yeah, I have relationships fall by the wayside as other men do in my industry, or just men, period.
Yep.
Aiming at the thing. I got a boy in real estate kind of going through the same thing, because we're conquerors. We want to go get it. And you said, Jaimi, do I ride with this man, or do I cross my fingers and hope that he makes it?
And then
when do you cross your fingers and hope that he makes it? And when do you say, no, I can't do this ride? Because that's the question.
I mean, I'm not going to say I'm in the middle of something similar, but let's just say there's been a couple of times, or even a homeboy I've talked to, where the dude's not ready and there's an expectation. So my friend Nate, you'll see he talks about it on The Power of Preparation. There was a woman he was extremely interested in, but he felt like he wasn't ready and he needed her to wait, blah, blah, blah. But so here, my perspective, and then I'll go to the chat, is I don't think it's wrong to communicate with a man, but here's the thing. If I'm with a man who's not ready, or if I'm trying to date him or talking to him, or we're getting to know each other, for me personally, that definitely creates an insecurity in me, because it's like, if he doesn't know and he's willing to leave the door open for other men to come in, then I don't think he really wants me that bad. So I'm gonna fall back just a little bit, because what am I gonna give someone who's not available? There's not that much I can. So there's certain conversations, there's certain emotions, now I start to put up a little bit of walls, because I have to protect myself, because I really don't know what you're going to do at the end of the day. And I can't not date. What if somebody who is ready and sure about me comes in? I have to take that, and you'll lose out. But will you really lose? Because if you weren't that gung-ho about it and locking it down when you saw it, maybe it was not the one for you. That's just my mental. So I'm always in prayer, like, sure, Lord, send me the man for me, but let me make sure I'm the woman for him as well. But I don't know about just shutting it all down and waiting, especially at a certain age. Maybe when you're 25, if y'all 25 want to do that. But at my age, I'm wondering how long a man would think that you could just sit around and wait for them to be ready. When is that? What does that look like? And whenever you're done with whatever, will I still be your choice? Like, that is a cross finger. So I would suggest to women, keep your door open. You got to stay open to dating. And he knows that he's not going to be able to ask you not to date because you're not doing anything. So if we don't have you to lead and even say, to bring it in and say, yes, this is what I want, then we cannot respond to you with a choice and a decision.
Yeah, I know we're going to chime in on but I would say this from a man's point of view too, to keep it 100 all the way, barbershop, hair salon, whatever. It's a scary, slippery slope because it's like the ego says, damn, I don't want her to go anywhere. But if you don't want me to go anywhere, then step up.
Yeah.
Shit. Like, what if I'm not ready emotionally, all like that, but the financial commitment, the time commitment, and it's sometimes a situation where just because I'm not grabbing you and telling you stay here doesn't mean I don't want you. It's just that once I say, hey, I want you exclusively, you got to be ready to give that financial and time commitment.
But that's different. Saying that you want somebody exclusively is different than I'm not ready, but I like you. So if you're saying, I want to be exclusive with you and I want this to grow, so then to me, that's courtship. To me, that is very regular. And I know I'm a little built different, but I'm an entrepreneurial. I'm going to keep it all the way real. I know I'm a little built different, but as an entrepreneurial woman with a lot of skills, a lot of life experience, a lot of ups and downs, I done slayed the game in many different ways. I understand that. So is a man that's looking for that, is he going to see me and understand that I'm a woman who understands that and we can ride that way? Or is he still looking for a butt? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But it's like, if you can communicate that you want the exclusivity while you work out the kinks, I do think that that's possible. I think that that's possible because isn't that what you're going to have to do in a marriage? If you're in a marriage and your career changes and you went from this to this, we're going to have to talk about, all right, well, I have a background in banking. I'll hold that down for a second while how are we going to pivot and match it? How are we going to do it? This is real life already. Yeah.
How we going to the kinks? Right.
So, so that's different. So if you can commit, but be honest about the situation, then cool. I know I ain't going to see you every day. I don't expect you to boo up and sit with me every night on Netflix. Please, honey, go get it. Because I'm out here doing the same thing, but let's make it sacred. And let's say no matter what, Saturday night for 2 hours, we do our thing. Sunday morning, we do let's make it work. But you can, I feel like as a woman, you can only do that with exclusivity and some kind of a commitment, not just off some, I like you, I'm not ready. Let's just see. Like, no, that's like crazy. Because it's just, it's actually hurtful to a woman. Because then there's like all these questions and it's like, you feel justified, but then it's like, okay, well, if he's not sure about me, maybe I'm not the one. Let me find someone who's like you. Let's go. That's really, is what we want, us women, a man to be sure. So let's go into the chat and see. Oh, come on, scroll. It went somewhere. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, good question, Jaimi, about getting out of safety. I may, let me know when you. Let me know when you feel. Okay, I appreciate you being vulnerable and speaking on it. Proof of integrity. Does he keep his promises? Tani said, "I wait on God's approval or negation. My self-respect proves who he is for me. When a man thinks he can do better, he hesitates." Watch out for half-stepping. Don't get mad, ladies. It's just called a red flag. So yeah, it sounds like, because that's the thing. So for us, if you hesitate, that's a red flag. Because it's like, oh, well, if you ain't all in, we cannot jump into your arms if you're like, like, nah, they gotta be open or I'm not jumping. You're gonna drop me. You're gonna half catch me and scratch my leg up. Like, no.
Well, you in Houston, they know how to catch in Houston. They play football a lot.
To be honest, that's why I'm here. I was like, I gotta leave LA. They're not really talking about nothing out there. Well, I came to a place where family is cool and celebrated and desired, not people hustling and chasing. Because to be honest, I'm tired of men telling me that they're not ready. I mean, you're waiting to have everything, and it's exhausting. All I'm doing is getting older. All you're doing is getting older, and all we're doing is not getting to know each other or learn how to navigate with each other. Right. I'm out.
A-Staff.
I'm out. I don't know what to tell you. There's
Right.
nothing that a woman can do with that. So I would say, since it's up to us, because we've talked about it, us Zennials, to kind of change the narrative. If we need to protect our boys in a certain way, if we need to update the handbook, so to speak, on how we vet, then I think we should also change the narrative in the way we dehumanize each other and make sure that we as women, and we're going to talk about this on Thursday, the women is going to talk about everything we talked about, but yeah, so exactly. So I think it would be very much in our interest as women to understand. That's why I'm doing King Speak. We need to hear you speak. We don't understand everything either. We're raised a certain way. We go through certain things and come up with our own thoughts about it. But to hear you speak, now we can say, all right, you know what I'm saying? If he wants to be with me and he's making that known, do I want to be with him? And characterize different. Is he a man of character? Is he a man of God? Is he a liar? Is he loyal? Is he respectful? And find all the other things and then learn how to build with you.
Well,
because this is a different, this is 2020. It's different.
For your conversation on Thursday, I got to speak for the men too, to my young brothers. No, seriously, no, not in the hey, I'm coming back on you. Yeah. But to my young brothers coming up in the game, in whatever game you're in, my motivation for me, to your point, is less, like you said, LA, hustle, get to the dream. But for me, I feel it's a calling on my life. As I told you, I do want to take a pilgrimage out of the country, but I'm going to come back because I feel like I said, I had to look inward, like beyond NFL and track. Okay, you got muscles, but football's over, track is over. Why do you have this? And I felt that symbolism. I'm created this way for symbolism. So my motivation comes from the Idris Elbas, the Mahershala Alis, to an extent the Will Smiths, the Dwayne Johnsons. You could say the Brad Pitts, the Mark Wahlbergs, because to your point, but to the men, to defend the men, to be patient and chill out. Mark Wahlberg is, I'm not, and I know the millennial, I ain't waiting until, but look, Dwayne Johnson, Mark Wahlberg, even Kevin Hart is 40 in his 40s now. Mahershala Ali, mid 40s. Yo, I study this game. I study this game like a lawyer studies law. These men are in their mid to late 40s, early 50s at the top of their earning potential.
Correct.
Protecting and providing for their families on an astronomical level. And these dudes got gray hairs, but as you can see with technology and health and holistic health and everything, yo, these dudes will punch you in your mouth and they look like they look like they're like chiseled like a 22-year-old, but they're more distinguished, they're settled, their family, they have their production companies and maybe some real estate or whatever. Yes, did they come out here to LA like everyone else? Yes. But these are the success stories of going after your dream, being patient. Some of them have gone through divorce. Some on the Second Wives Club. It happened. But Dwayne Johnson is 48. He'll be 49 in May or something like that. This dude is killing the game.
Yeah.
Mahershala Ali is about to play Blade. He's about to play Jack Johnson.
I'm so excited.
Right. He's in his mid 40s, got a wife and kids. So these guys have done it the right way. And for men, I would say the older you get, if you take care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit, especially black men with our melanin, the more you look, it's just distinguished. This landing you have to where you can still protect and provide at a high level and reward your queen, because I guess you guys do have a biological clock. I know there's some theories about men with us, but that's some real issue.
It's a real thing, unless you're just gonna,
right. And
go grab a 25-year-old when you get 45 and see how that goes.
But some of these men are really at the height, making a difference in their communities.
Yeah.
Employing hundreds of people through their production companies. They're their own. That's what my boy gave me some motivation. Jerrell, aim to become your own economy.
Absolutely.
Wow. But it takes a minute.
Absolutely.
Right. So, but that's to defend us. But back to Belafonte's point, and to that point about societal success versus self or whatever. I said when I just filmed this thing 3 weeks ago during COVID, everyone tested negative, staff of 20 people, we knocked it out. Jaimi, you were there when I first started. I had a short film. I was in it, just in a locker room, whatever. I didn't know shit. I wrote it, whatever. Jaimi, I had 20 people on staff, 5 different languages behind the camera. I'm in front of the camera speaking Pidgin, which is a Nigerian dialect, with my co-star speaking East Indian language. Excuse my ignorance to the East Indian community, her language and American. 5 different languages going on behind the camera. I'm like, oh my God, Good Hope Productions it takes time. So, but with that being said, I have to give this time for this baby to grow. And I have to be careful, like you said, who do I bring on while this baby is growing? Because I'm in the forest right now and I see a little bit of the sun. I don't know if I can ask this woman to wait, because, I rather this thing come, and while it's coming, it'll give me the energy instead of being selfish and hunting all the time and saying, well, I kind of, like you said, I don't want to fumble. No, don't date nobody else, because we do that too. We're very territorial. You ain't ready, but I don't want you with nobody else though. I ain't ready.
Yeah,
but
man, I can't tell you many times I heard that, boy.
Yeah, we do it. That ego, boy. Yeah. God ain't through with me yet. Yeah.
Dre up in here in the chat, and Keandra, she's one of the queens on the panel for Queens Glean. So like I said, we have Kings Speak on Tuesdays where we talk to you, and then us ladies get together and talk all of your ideas and see how we can get on the same page, share our insight and kind of figure this thing out. But everybody is really liking the aim to become your own economy. And to be honest, that's how my brain thinks. I shared earlier on my page, when I was 7 years old, they asked me what I wanted to be. And I said, boss of the universe, which is, I want all of it. Okay. I want the whole thing.
Right.
So I completely understand that, because it just gives you a freedom and an autonomy to be creative yourself. Not necessarily to control in like a controlling way, but you have your hands in things and it's intentional. So I love that. And a few people commented that. Right. No, I love it. You bring up many points, and I think it's important that we talk about it, because the way you think is different than the way I think. The way you were raised is different than because we're men and women. So, it's interesting. It gives us an opportunity to be a little bit more patient and give you more grace, but at the same time, as a woman, it's like, we can navigate better for ourselves when we know what it is that's on your mind. We can say no or walk away. Yeah, because when we're sticking around or doing the wrong things, we're not serving you either.
Yeah, so, and the ego, because let's say we say, okay, no, you can go. I'm cool. I can't, whatever. And we walk with our tail between our legs. That ego, when we see another guy with you doing his job and you're happy and being courted, I had to discern, I had to shut my ego down and say, yo, that woman belongs to God, not me. Correct. But that ego comes into play because it hurts our feelings and our ego when you move on. And I don't know, we see you on the gram, or you're like, hey, what's up? Hey, you want to go grab a bite? Oh, I'm in a relationship now. Fuck. Somebody really handling their business. I'm going to be real, all things considered, to be vulnerable, it hurts us as men. Like, fuck, somebody beat me to the punch. He had the bag. He stepped up. Damn it. But I don't know, timing or whatever. So that's why half the time we fumble, because it's like, I'm not ready, but I don't want you to go anywhere, because my ego and my territorialisms want you to myself, but I'm not. So, and when we see what somebody else, it messes our heads up to be vulnerable.
Well, I'm gonna just give it to you. If you see something, Jerrell, and it's for you, please just communicate to that woman, because it's what I wish I had. I just wish the guy could be. If you see it and you let me know that is a signal for us, because when we have to move on from you, that hurts us too. Like, damn, but we will take the next train, because we got to get on. We got to get to where we're going.
You saw season 1 of Insecure.
I didn't see
HBO.
it.
Oh my God.
I'm terrible. I saw parts of it.
When he moved on, Issa Rae's boyfriend moved on.
I remember that.
That scene was epic, because that's what we do. We got to get our swag back. So we move on too. and we have our way of getting our swag back too. That was epic. That was some man shit right there.
Lord, the chat says yes. It's gonna be fire on Thursday for Queen's Glean. Dre agrees with you. Yep, y'all be hot when that woman moves on.
Yeah.
Tani said, yeah, men, we can't, LOL, can't live with them, can't live without them. Amen.
Yeah.
Yes, communicate. Women can be more patient with you. Yeah, because we have the capacity. Remember, we did grow up with the past to share our emotions. If I started crying on here right now, nobody would think I was weird. It would be a moment, but it's like, I'd be crying all the time, but that wouldn't be weird, or you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I feel like we can handle much more, and we have a capacity to take on much more that you guys have to offer, but we really don't know what's going on.
Right. We don't talk. I agree. We don't
know what's going on. So
right.
Yeah. So even with that, it's like, maybe next time we just need to know what's going on and be able to understand so we can communicate effectively with you and we can all harmonize. This whole thing is about harmonizing relationships between
harmony. It's
men and women. It's just harmony. It's just such a beautiful word. We're trying to get it together for these kids, for the next generation, because everything's different.
Exactly.
So I wanted to talk about, you said that more towards the top of the conversation, you talked about inferiority and how, men and women go through it, but you also have stories between men and men and the other things that you deal with. So yes, you deal with women, having to navigate women, your career, line it up with purpose and everything. But how is it being a man like you and having to navigate corporately or with your teammates when it comes to other men or other men that may feel quote unquote inferior or insecure around you?
Yeah, that's another thing to y'all queens. I'm gonna represent for our kings, man. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle, King Von, Triple X is getting out of control. So you're dealing with, of course, the government, the cops, the system. We all know what went on this year, the protest. I mean, we all know what time it is. And after that, you're dealing with your own hue and your own people who I use the analogy, me, Jerrell, I don't play flag football. Why? I played a little bit when I was done with pro football. Once they find out you play pro football, everyone's trying to tackle you. Everyone's trying to cover you. The quarterback is throwing it to you in every play because everyone feels I can relive something through this guy. Again, you're objectified. Oh, he's a fast guy, but he played you. And it's like, golly. And then when you're navigating through and coming and making breakthroughs, I'm going to be real with you. Most guys my age or, the grades are coming in, the body ain't as whatever. I woke up this morning at 5 a.m. Great workout in. I'm reading 2 books at once. Got already drunk my tea. I'm here with you. Then I got to get back out because I got to run my side business and get back in and write because I have a scripted podcast dropping soon. So
woohoo!
Yeah, so I got a team working on that. Like my team is, I'm building something. I'm a dog.
Yes, you are.
As Dion said, I'm a dog. And what Nipsey went through, Triple X went through, King Von is, to an extent, brothers don't feel like they had equal exposure to their dream. My father wasn't there. I didn't get that break. I didn't get that scholarship. Why didn't I get that? Whatever. Now, you don't know what Nipsey sacrificed, King Von sacrificed, Triple X sacrificed, a Jay-Z sacrificed, or even the head supervisor at the post office. You don't know what they sacrificed. But we have such limited access, so we feel at times that we become hating our own kind. And especially, again, Jen, you're a tall woman. I know you get it from the ladies sometimes. I'm a tall man. I'm 6'3". I walk in. I'm very dark. I walk in. I'm like, yo, what's up?
Yeah, who she thinks she is? She thinks she's a model.
But I've heard this from the guys. Don't come off like that. They just like they use their insecurities with jokes. Oh, what's up, dog? You out here and then you silly boy. Trust me, men do it differently, but they do it. And I'll laugh or whatever. But after a while, when I scratch my nose, that's like the yo, shut the fuck up. And I've had to address other men out here in other parts of the country to be like, yo, calm down. Or I've had men get mad at me for not collaborating with them on certain things because I'm like, yo, you got to explain everything to me. Because it's that dumb blonde syndrome, I believe. It's that you're Mike Tyson. You're not educated. So I'm Don King. I have a fetish for you. I can't box. I can't punch. I can't do anything. But I can tell you what to do. And as soon as the athlete, the artist, the corporate person turns around to their co-worker and says, well, this is what blah, 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 starts talking. You talk? You speak?
You have a mind? You're
You have
educated?
a mind? You're educated?
Yeah.
And I mean, then I got to pull my cards. Like I won 5 conference championships in the Big 12 before I was even old enough to drink. What have you done? I got sometimes pull the card. 14 players in the 150-year history of Nebraska football were walk-ons who made it to the NFL. I'm one of them. What's up? I'm on IMDb. I'm nominated for a few awards as a producer and actor. What you doing? I've been everything since I was 8. Did 2-a-day, 3-day workouts for 20 years. What's up? So, but you got these men who feel so inferior because I didn't get my break. Or honestly, you don't want to put in the work, to be honest. And then they hit you with the, well, brothers got to stick together. Well, black man, you know what? That's a subjective subject. But for me as an adult, I help younger black men, and I have my tribe now that I'm forming that is working out. But not all people are equal. All things are equal because men, my sisters, when you break the mold, you go get it, you get your education, you come out, you get your master's, you get your doctorate, you rise up at the construction company, post office, Sprint, athletic league, rap artist, I don't know, Best Buy. And you rise up, your own kind, especially males, will try to cut you down so quickly, not just blatantly, but sometimes little slick stuff to where now you got to address possibly the police officer who's following you. You got to address this the old administration, shout out to Biden. You got to address those people. Then you got to address your own. That's the price of being successful. So when we come in the house, ladies, if you got a good brother, sometime when we come in, it's got to be for at least for the first half hour. Namaste, please.
Decompress. I used to date somebody and let them decompress. Yeah.
When I step out there, I got to get followed by the blue. I got to deal with my own kind who feels inferior. I can be eating a sandwich. Man, you over there eating healthy? You what? Because they feel because I'm eating healthy and I'm
like,
vibrating.
Can you live? Yeah.
Right. You doing yoga, man? You think just the insecurity. Then I got to deal with this and that. When I come in my home, my queens, just namaste. Don't look at the glass half empty. Look at it half full, and don't always look for what's wrong. Please look for what's right. Even if I leave something out, even if the light is left on. For the first hour, look for what's right because I just finished navigating through that shit.
Yeah.
And not even always the blue and not even always the Republic or whatever you want to call it. Not even always the administration. Our own who feel why you, not me. Rest in peace, Nip, Triple X, Vaughn, who had to deal with their own. And I'm going to end it on this as I think Jay-Z broke it down and he says, y'all killed Triple X and let Zimmerman live. Man, the streets is done. Zimmerman is walking around chilling. You got a man who provided for his family, broke the mold, and his own. I'm so mad that you did it and I didn't. I'm going to take you out faster than... if Zimmerman walks down the street, I'm not going to touch him. But if Jerrell Pippens walks by, a Michael Vick, a Jaimi, who's doing her thing, tall, striking, in shape, whatever, you look, nah. I got to say, nah, man. Yo, man, what you think you... Woo! We got to deal with so much, my sisters, my queen, that when we not perfect, but one homegirl said this, and I still do it. If I take a liking to a female, even as an adult, I will still lay on a female's stomach. It's just my head. I have to feel the wound. Because the shit that we have to navigate through, my queens. Woo! I know we ain't perfect. I know we a hot mess sometimes, but please, namaste when we walk in the house.
Yes, and we could do that. And I think and we have the capacity for it again. And we'll talk about more of this on Queen's Glean. Let's remember, queens, to do this for men, not males, not just some dude that's laying up and out, because we get depleted when we hear
Right.
things like that. Give him peace, do this for him, do that for him. We want to, but not every man is deserving of that. So we have to have our discernment, so we're not snatching our edges on a bunch of males that don't deserve the attention a man can. We should hold back and be patient and sit in safety and all that before we go firing off our wifey skills.
And watch the finger and the neck and this.
We don't even got to do any of that, to be honest. We don't have to do any of it.
No, y'all got to look
healthy.
Y'all got to look though. Sometimes y'all got to look like, oh shit.
I mean, and we do, and you know, there will be things, but I think just the same as men have to be patient and not hunt, gather, we can't be jumping at every man who because we not lose, but we don't need to be sowing our wifey skills just to everybody. That's not for every man.
That's true.
It's not for every guy.
And every guy can't be showing his husband's skills. I'm not mad at city girls and that
don't got nothing to do with it.
No, I ain't mad at them for they making money doing their thing, but I'm gonna end it on this because I gotta go now handle my business. Get to my
yes,
bag.
you do.
But the misandry and the misogyny, especially with us, we're already up under it, my kings and queens. But the misandry and the misogyny, man, we got to do something about that because we're already up under it. So.
Well, we out here. I know I have Kings Speak, Queens Glean. I'm going to have, I put out my e-course, The Power of Posture, which you can find in my Instagram link in bio.
FYI to my queen, that's a turn on for a lot of men, especially alpha men, type A men, how a woman sits and hold herself up when she sits, and the way you cross your legs and how you keep your spine erect. That is such a turn on. Your posture before a word even comes out of your mouth. There's something majestic and beautiful about that. So yes, do your yoga, your Pilates, stretch. Because when you guys are sitting straight up and folding your legs and talking, it's something about it that it's just beautiful on the queens. So posture, yes.
Yes. And, posture on the outside. So do your Pilates and everything, but have your posture, your heart posture correct, your mental, your emotions. So there's a lot of things that come with that upright seat. So I've got that going. And then soon I'll have Keys to Me. I'll have something for the younger ladies. So we're out here doing our thing. Before you get out of here, I want you to get to your work, but I also want people to tell the people what you're working on, what they can expect from you, how to follow your stuff so we can support your economy.
Right. So I have a scripted podcast coming soon, Between the Lines. We have a platform called BLEAV.com. It'll be on all the podcast platforms, but it's a partially scripted podcast touching on, you see LeBron, you see the Jerrell Pippens, you see the Michael Vicks, you see the Kevin Durant's, but let's go into the communities that we are from. So it's a fly on the wall in these communities that build these athletes, and the classism, the health issues, the police issue, the lack of budgeting, lack of resources issue, the toxic relationship issue. We have 8 episodes touching on these things. I also have I have some other shows that I'm presenting to networks soon at the top of the year that it's going to take development, but you might see them next fall. That's from an executive standpoint. And I'm gonna just say this, man, my new team, I have some auditions that in a minute, you'll see me in front of the camera on a major platform. So just out here doing my thing. So what else I got going on? Oh, and I just filmed a short film proof of concept for a movie, but we're going to put it out possibly on Amazon Prime and into some festivals. It's Guess Who's Coming to Dinner meets Mississippi Masala.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, look at you. I love it. I mean, seriously, Jerrell, thank you so much. One, it was just good to catch up with you because I haven't seen you in a while.
You in H-Town.
I know, I'm out. But I'm about to kick it with Malik in a couple hours.
Okay. Oh, you in H-Town? Okay.
Yeah, he's out here. And I think we should do this again. And you know me and how I roll. If there's anything that I could ever do to help or facilitate or share or whatever, don't ever forget to holler at your girl.
Yes.
And
thank you for this platform. Thank you for letting men vent and talk. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for doing so. And you're welcome. So everyone watching, thanks for tuning in. Ladies in the chat, everyone in the chat. It wasn't just ladies and brothers. Thank you so much for your input. And we'll see you on Thursday for Queen's Glean. So you can see what the ladies have to say.
Yeah, I got to see this. I'm ready. All right.
tuning in.
Thank you.
See ya.